YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another coughing fit. Apparently, we good? Iron Maiden reaction video. Phantom of the Opera. This is one that, for God's sake, I'm just being murdered with this horrific cough. I have to cough like once every 10 minutes now. It really is dragging me down. Iron Maiden, Phantom of the Opera. Happy Boxing Day. I think this is going up. I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas if you celebrate it. If not, we talked about that in the Christmas video. Let me know how your Wednesday went. Everyone had a fantastic Christmas, but we're Phantom of the Opera today. Do I sound disjointed? I've got a lot going on. I've been busy. That's why my brain is apparently flipped over and upside down. I wanted to do some different eras of Maiden. I wanted to check out some different things. I wanted to check out some from the X Factor era. And I wanted to check out something from the pre-Bruce era, the Paul Di'Anno era. This is one, a lot of people suggested this one. I didn't know that there was necessarily, I didn't know what to do in terms of the pre-Bruce time period, era of Maiden. But this one, as soon as I mentioned it, this one came up plenty of times. So I was like, you know what, okay, Phantom of the Opera. And it's a classic Maiden situation for me, a classic Maiden Yetiness reaction in terms of the fact that this is a song based on another story that I have zero familiarity with. Obviously, I've heard of Phantom of the Opera. I'm vaguely familiar with Andrew Lloyd Webber. I have not seen the musical, not seen any films, not read the novel. So I don't know. But we're going to listen to it. I'm hopefully going to enjoy it. I enjoyed Rime of the Ancient Mariner, despite also not knowing that story. There's an interesting one though here. Says, although the songs were recorded with Paul Di'Anno on vocals, I don't know if I'm saying that right, by the way, Di'Anno. Longtime frontman Bruce Dickinson has been known to tell the crowd at shows that if they don't like this song, they don't get Iron Maiden. So I'm excited, I'm intrigued, I'm interested. Let's listen to Phantom of the Opera and see what I think. Why is my framing bad? Hold on, let me fix this. It's a fraction of a bit better, I think. No, that's not better. My head's still off the frame. You know what? You got to live with it. We do what we can. Okay. There we go. Okay, right. So this. I'm coming at this from the context of someone who's heard obviously everything we've done on the channel so far, but also some other stuff. It threw me off. I hate having to cut in the middle of reactions. I had to cough, and now it's thrown off my train of thought. This is I got some more to say. It's interesting because I'm coming at it at a context of I'm like, okay, I'm listening to a Maiden song, but I know that this is not Bruce, who is who I am familiar with in Maiden. So I'm coming at it at that specific context versus, when this came out, just listen to it for what it is. Or, I could try and separate and talk about it like that, and maybe I will at the end. But this is, I'll try and do that a little bit. I'll try and focus on it just as a song. But it is, it's an interesting difference. And obviously there's I can tell there's, the mixing isn't quite as there as it is with later stuff, but it's their first album. So that makes sense. But I have some thoughts that we can go through. I've just, I've got to sprinkle my pauses in. I'm so intrigued. Okay. No, I dig this. Dig the switch.
Keep your distance, walk away, don't take it, baby. Don't you stray, don't fade away. Watch your step, these are too dead to come out, baby. Don't you stray from a narrow way.
That's interesting. I know I've just paused right as it's going building into something new. I'm sorry, but that you can listen to a solo like that, and Maiden have some other solos like that. Power Slave is probably a good example of where it's quite smooth. It's quite buttery, and it's almost like you can listen to it and be like, man, that's bliss. But sometimes I'm like, you just appreciate the artistry of it. I'm like, I feel like I just scored a TD. You know what I mean? I feel like I just like I want to. Even though it was like soft and smooth, it still like gets me going because I'm just like, that was so good, dude. I'm just. Oh, it is no go. There's like 20 seconds left. I'm not hearing anything.
Answer me back at you now!
We good? There's 5 more. You gonna say any more? Okay, we're good. Right. You know what that felt like when that solo was coming to an end there? That felt like I got a similar feeling to the other day when the Bucks beat the Lakers. I come out of the game and I'm just like, it just feels good, dude. I don't even know why. I don't think that's the first time we've listened to a solo. I felt all sorts of things listening to solos this channel. It's really aggressive, you know, Creeping Death, the you know, you really get into it, or Four Horsemen when you really get into it. Some of the Power Slave where it's like bliss, you know, some of the Gilmore stuff when you're just floating with it and your soul just leaves your body and flies around space for a few seconds. We felt all sorts of feelings listening to some solos and stuff on this channel, but that whole instrumental section in the middle was like, I don't know, it just gets the people going. Provocative. No, I just felt it, you know, just vibing with it, dude, vibing with it. And I will say, so this is obviously the elephant in the room, because like I said, I'm going into this because I wanted to do a song that was pre-Bruce era. This is the song we went with, so obviously I'm going to talk about Paul and compared to Bruce. And I will say, I don't know, it's almost hard to judge because I've heard, this is the only song I've heard with Paul in it, and I think it is also worth noting that obviously the Bruce stuff later on, they went to the later albums and they had, even just from the first album to the second album, you have more to spend and to put into it and to production and stuff, so the mixing got better. And we've seen this, and I'm talking about Metallica because this is this sort of similar thing that I've experienced on the channel so far. Is the other example of something where we've done something super early and then followed the journey a little bit. When you go from Four Horsemen to Fade to Black, you can hear the step up in quality. And even then, from Fade to Black to later albums, they still improved a little bit when they got a bit more budget or whatever. But Four Horsemen, you can tell it was their first album, right? This is the same. The mixing on it wasn't quite there, so I almost feel like it's hard to completely compare them in that sense. However, yeah, based on what I heard, I do feel like Bruce was an upgrade. I do feel like Bruce was the right man. Like, definitely, I'd say the main bit where it stood out the most for me, and I could hear it straight away, but where it stood out the most for me was where it had that massive instrumentation bit in the middle, instrumental bit in the middle, all the solos and stuff, and then at the end, when the lyrics and the vocals came back in, it didn't quite have the same oomph that I feel like Bruce would have. And again, and this is why I mentioned the mixing thing, because I feel like part of it was, if that was mixed better, it still could have, or mastered better as well, it still could have had more of an oomph than it did. I don't think that was just Paul versus Bruce, but I also feel like still Bruce would have done it better. So that was definitely a thing. And again, I feel like Bruce has more presence on the song, but again, it really is hard to tell with the level of mixing and mastering. But and Paul was hitting the notes as well, but everything just felt like it wasn't quite as good as everything felt like it was like discount Bruce, which is harsh to say because this is Maiden. This is how they started as Maiden, and what Bruce said about if you don't like this song, you don't get Maiden. He's right. This was a Maiden song to me. Musically, it was lyrically, like the whole package. That was a Maiden song. It felt like a Maiden song, and even vocally, although it wasn't Bruce, it was still the style between Paul and Bruce. I think were very similar and a very Maiden. So it was still a Maiden song, and I do wonder. I imagine Bruce has probably performed this live, right? And Bruce has talked about the song. Okay, it's a song written by the band a long time ago, before I was in Iron Maiden. It was the new wave of British metal. I was in a band called Samson, and Iron Maiden was a support band that evening, and they played this song. I had never heard a metal band playing a song like this before, and this song really is everything that Iron Maiden is about. The Phantom of the Opera. Okay, see, I agree with that, yeah. But, I don't know, I imagine he's probably performed this song live before. Ah, yes, Bruce Dickinson of the Ullevi Stadium, Gothenburg, Sweden in 2005, introducing the song to the audience. So I would actually be interested to hear him do this. And I would also be interested to hear more of Paul. Did they only do the one album with Paul? I'll check that out. People can tell me in the comments if you want, but I will just Google it after. So don't worry about it. But, yeah, because I would be interested to hear them on the same level in terms of what they had technically going on. But, it was a great song, and it was a Maiden song. Bruce is right. I enjoy that, and I just enjoyed the song, and I would listen to that in my spare time, regardless of whatever you want to talk about vocally. Although I am on Team Bruce probably. But again, not to necessarily say that like that wasn't bad or anything. It was good. I think it's just I've heard Bruce now. I've heard a lot of Bruce, and it would be hard to compare and stuff when I'm already there with Bruce. But it is what it is, and I very much enjoyed it, and I can see why people well, obviously I've not heard the rest of the album, so I don't know what else is on there comparatively to this, but I can see why people wanted me to do this one, because that was a great song. Musically, yeah, I don't know, I got with it, I was with it, but anyway, listen, I had to go wrap a couple presents and have some food, so I'm going to do that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good Christmas if you celebrate it, Hanukkah if you celebrate it, or Wednesday if you don't celebrate anything particular going on right now. Thank you for joining me on Boxing Day. Let me know how your yesterday went, and let me know what you think of that song in particular. I'd be curious to know what people think of the whole Paul versus Bruce, or that song specifically, or anything that I said. But that said, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.